From a water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland, it's the nation's only live streaming show with 2 cameras. That's right, we're welcoming you back to Sunday Songs. Thanks for being here, guys. It's good to see you. I hope you had a good week. Never had enough to be the favorite son, and so I never had enough to disappoint no one. Everything I ever done, it never came too much. Maybe then I could have said that I was just washed up. Oh, my brother was a soldier, he was straight and true. Mama said he was a member of the chosen few, but I guess he never felt he ever got his due. He wrote a note and put a rope around his necklace, June. Let them burn and shine, let them burn and shine. Let that last long dance just be yours and mine. Let them spin their wheels, turn their pages, break their knives on the rock of ages. Baby, we'll be fine. Let them burn, burn and shine. Well, no one ever whistled when you walked by, because you never caught the corner of the public eye. You left town, you got one goodbye from the sign at the Frederick County line. Oh, your sister was a looker, she was tall and wild. She had a star-crossed lover on a moonlit mile. Then she met a politician and she had his child. He takes the bottom of a bottle just to make her smile. Let them burn and shine, let them burn and shine. Let that last long dance just be yours and mine. Let them spin their wheels, turn their pages, break their knives on the rock of ages. Baby, we'll be fine. Let them burn, burn and shine. Let them burn and shine. Let them burn and shine. Let that last long dance just be yours and mine. Let them spin their wheels, turn their pages, break their knives on the rock of ages. Baby, we'll be fine. Let them burn, burn and shine. Thank you. Welcome back to Sunday Songs. For those of you just joining us, we love it that you're here. We love it, as usual, we love it if you text a friend, let them know that there's a free show going on right now, or comment a friend in the comment section, and spread the word. We love it when you do that. Here's a tune off the latest album, The Flood in Color. This is the last song on the album. To be honest, I was kind of against putting this song on the album, but the producer prevailed upon me, and I'm glad now that it's on. I like this song now. All those years of blood, sweat and tears you cried, you got less to show then you have to hide. Well, Lady Luck, in all her charms, I never known her. I'm just a man with empty hands and broad shoulders. You could have had a wife Instead you made a name. The monuments you built look smaller by the day. She took you back, you kissed her lips, but they were colder. You're just a man with empty hands and broad shoulders. The brother that you mock for knowing wrong from right, he just went off to war. He won't get out alive. He was a son, he was a friend, he was a soldier. You're just a man with empty hands and broad shoulders. Thank you. Just some very light fare for your Sunday night heading into the week. Throw down in the comments while I play this next song or in the live chat. I always love to see where everyone is watching from. So let me know. Let me know, besides St. Augustine, Florida, where you're watching this show from tonight. When the party starts on Monday and Christmas starts in June, when no one minds I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. When every revolution is sponsored by the state, there's no bravery in bayonets in tearing down the gates. If you see me with a rifle, don't ask me what it's for. I fight my father's wars. When hunger strikes a fashion and freedom is routine, when all the streets in Cleveland are named for Martin Luther King, you will see me at the protest, but you'll notice that I burn my father's flag. When the party starts on Monday and Christmas starts in June, when no one minds I just arrived and I'll be leaving soon. If I return with eyes half open, don't ask me where I was. I do my father's drugs. I do my father's drugs. Thank you. We're coming at you with the nation's only streaming show with 2 cameras. Let's see where you guys. Oh man, a bunch of people in the comments down here. Let's see where you're all at. One of my favorite parts of the show here. Okay. Let's see. Christopher Wilson is in Arlington, Texas. He thinks I've scared the St. Augustinians away. It's been a while since they've been around. I'll give you that. Spokane, Washington. John's in Long Beach. Marcus is in St. Louis. What's up, man? Tim Bolster is in Coos Bay, Oregon. Tim, I believe, is a listener of the podcast. How you doing, Tim? Joe Goronski's in. I love Fort Collins. They put a lot of money into Fort Collins to make all these beautiful theaters there. There's this foundation there that's, I believe, it was the woman had a fortune. Her father had he owned the patent for hospital beds. I didn't even know that was a patentable thing, but my understanding is that he had patented. Anytime you've been in a hospital, you have a hospital bed there. He owned the patent for that, and so the heir to this, or the heiress to this fortune, took that and put it all into Fort Collins, into a music district there, to make an amazing, just an amazing place to go play music. I was supposed to be there this month, actually, but COVID. Graham's in Ossining. Is that in Canada? That sounds Canadian, Graham. That sounds Canadian. Cat Clawed Couch in Frankfort, Kentucky is Jasmine. Nick's in Buffalo. Wait, Buffalo, Wyoming. I was about to say I was just in Buffalo, but I wasn't in Buffalo, Wyoming. Bill Verde, Texas, with a glass of beer in hand, as suggested. Oh, you know who else lives in Bill Verde is Jerry DeSica, who's just on the podcast. You should go over to his couch and watch it. All right. This is great. I love seeing, let's see who. David's in the morning drinking a beer in Australia. I love you for that. Austin, Texas. This is awesome. I'm so glad to see all you guys. Thanks for being here. Here's another tune. A couple people are saying that the reverb's a little bit too heavy, so let me dial back the reverb for this next song. Boom. Hey, yeah. That's better. Hey, yeah. A little bit more. Hey, yeah. There we go. That's perfect. You guys have good taste. You weren't going to listen to a show that had too much reverb on it, were you? For those of you who haven't been to one of these concerts before, or who are tuning in after a long time, we've made great strides in the last few months. As I've mentioned to you, this is the only live streaming show in America that has 2 cameras. We have the piano cam, which we'll be getting to very, very soon, very shortly. Clap a lightning, I awaken to a foot of water standing in my basement. Started rising, it took me under. The flood is coming. This is not history in black and white now. In a perfect storm, there isn't any high ground. The end of childhood, the end of summer, the flood in color. They tried to warn me, I wouldn't listen. Yeah, now all at once I'm drowning in my kitchen. My legs are broken from treading water. The flood is coming, the flood is coming. I tried to bargain, I tried to reason, but the sky was deaf, the rain was never ceasing. It's not some cheap bed that I can cover. The flood in color, the flood in color. So listen close now. I was dead wrong to think that things could work themselves out in the long run. Pay attention, heed the thunder. The flood is coming, the flood in color. Thank you very much. Is the reverb better? I think it is. I'm listening to it myself. You guys were right. There was too much reverb at the start of the show. Let's see. This is a pretty cryptic comment from Kevin, my Thai wife. I chose music today to work. I'm retired. Lots of information in that comment. Sharon's in Cedar Creek near Austin. Hey, yeah, I played a gig for you guys in New Jersey probably about this time last year. I wish I was up there playing a gig for you right now. A lot of Texans here tonight. You're right, Michelle. A lot of Texans. Oh, Rick saw us at Nelsonville Music Fest a couple years ago. That's an awesome festival. That's a festival worth traveling for. That's a festival. You look at the lineup of it every year, and they get some good music up there, if I do say so myself. I was very honored to be a part of that, the Nelsonville Music Festival. Oh, man. So great. And, of course, Michael has to throw in my tagline from the podcast that reverb is not a song. You are correct, sir. And Darren almost beat him to it. God. My own words coming back to bite me in the ass. What are you going to do? Here's another one from the Flood and Collar. I do want some reverb for this. I woke up after breakfast. I left her bedroom late. The streets were filled with strangers, half expecting a parade. I never saw it coming as the first applause began. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Silver on my fingers, sugar on my tongue. My father stood behind me and he asked what I'd become. I said I speak a language that you'll never understand. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Blues came down, blues came down. They say that truth and justice must be their own reward. I grew rich pretending, while the honest all went poor. Don't you play dumb about it when you're on that witness stand. While the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Yeah, the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Thank you. I'm in a flood and color kind of mood tonight. I'm playing a bunch of songs from there. I want to play another one for you now. We found you in the street with a list of all our names. There were stars beside the strongest and the weakest. They cut you quite a deal, almost too good to refuse. But some of us don't just worship what's convenient. We thought that our distance was safe, but wickedness can travel. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. And your father, rest his soul, the finest man I ever knew, spoke a truth that was clean as an iron. They gave him every chance to repeat the party line, but he shattered the windows with his silence. So they took him out back in the rain, and they made him an example. But you are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. Now they're rounding up the boys in the nation off to war, and they left behind the two-faced and the useless. On the first of every month, the neighbors trample on their lawn, and they dance for our mercy like we're minstrels. They dug up the headstones last night and broke them into gravel. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. Thank you. Oh man, I'm missing a few of the lyrics tonight. I would say the reason that I'm missing a few of the lyrics tonight is because my 1-year-old daughter in this past week had a really big breakthrough. She figured out how to climb out of her crib in the middle of the night, every night, at about 1 or 2 in the morning. And so it's been very proud of her, very proud of how precocious she is, but it's been... I also feel insane, though, because there hasn't been a lot of sleep going on in my household. If anyone has a comment, if anyone wants to comment a way to fix a child from getting out of their damn crib before the age of reason, where you can reason with them and tell them to go the hell to sleep, please throw that in the comments, because Daddy's hurting this week. All right, let's go to the world's, our nation's only our nation's only second camera on a live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, let's head over to the piano cam. Whoa. I really hope you can hear me here. I'm thinking that you probably can. Just because I don't want to play a song and it turns out you can't hear it, will you just throw in the comments really quick if you can hear this piano right now and my voice? Let me check and see. Yes, okay, you can hear it. That's great. That is wonderful. Here we go. Silver cans and bronze-colored dirt. Silver cans and bronze-colored dirt. Things end so soon, neath the parking lot room. Silver cans and bronze-colored dirt. She said, let's call it quits. Let's not call it the end of the world. Call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Road salt on I-95. Road salt on I-95. Forget what you're told, it's bound to get cold. All this road salt on I-95. I call today disaster. She calls it December the 3rd. Call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. On a brief and star-stricken night. On a brief and star-stricken night. I called her name on the road from Spokane. On a brief and star-stricken night. I hear a blue heron crying. Some folks just call it a bird. Call it what you will. I'm heartbroken still. Words are just words. Some call an end the beginning. For right now they'll go unheard. Call it what you will. Piano cam. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll get back to that piano later in the show. Let's see if anyone has. Christopher Wilson says, bars over top of the crib. Are you insane, man? Russell Christian feels the same way. WF style steel cage over the top. This child could probably bust through that. No, I've read that you can't do, you cannot do a, like a barrier over the top. That is like a recipe for SIDS or something like that. So they don't recommend that anymore. That was the first thing I thought. I mean, that's a pretty obvious fix, is you just put like a coffee table on top of the old crib and you're good to go. Let's see, does anyone else? And then Jeremy guilts me. It makes me feel guilty, and I try to enjoy this 1 a.m. movements. They'll be going soon. They probably will. You're going to get me all choked up. My son's 4 going on 5, and I already feel that. So, all right, let's play. We're already getting some requests in here. Let's see. So, Robert says, "Hey, Joe, listen, man. My 16-year-old daughter, Jolynn, lives in St. Augustine, Florida. Her dad, Rob, listens to your show every Sunday. He's a bit of a whack job. And he'd love to request Stay and Dance dedicated to her if you can make that happen before the end of the show." Of course we can make that happen before the end of the show. You got it. And I think that comment was even made with Rob's Facebook account. So, but throwing you under the bus, Rob. Yeah, let's do that. It's a little bit early for the request portion of the show, but I've been meaning to make that a bigger part of the show anyway. So let's do that. This one's for Rob. Don't take everything they say to heart. Don't pick every unkind word apart. It's a brave new world, but some things still hold true. The seasons change and people change their tune. 'Cause they don't know beauty, just the costume. Don't know music, just the volume. Stay and dance with just who brought you. When the lights come up, baby, nothing else remains. So grab that waiting wheel and set your course. Let the chorus waver back and forth. It's you alone knows where the greatness lies. So meet the doubtful gazers eye to eye. They don't know beauty, just the costume. Don't know music, just the volume. Stay and dance with just who brought you. Stay and dance with just who brought you. Stay and dance with just who brought you. The lights come up, baby, nothing else remains. The lights come up, baby, nothing else remains. There you go. Thank you. That was for, actually, that I don't think it was for Rob. I think it was for his daughter, Jolynn. So there you go. Thank you very much. I thought instead of doing this week, instead of doing a Bone Pile song, I was going to do, I thought it'd be fun. I finally wrote a good song, what I think is a good song. I've been writing songs for the last year, and not many of them turned out good. And I thought for the bone pile this week, I could just play you one that I just wrote, which I'd love to do. But before we do that, I think I have a very, very serious response to my question about my daughter getting out of the crib. Let's see. Lots of sympathy with the child who won't sleep. My youngest is 6, and she still won't. But now she does stuff like organize my shoes when she can't sleep. So, okay, so let's cut to the chase here. My advice: buy a bigger bed and save the effort for the age of reason. I don't think that's going to cut it with me, Jessica. To each their own. But that child just doesn't get to sleep with me every night. She's with me all day. That's messed up. Make her responsible for not letting her favorite stuffed animal out of the crib. Fair enough. You're right. She's going to have to make sure that Pinky stays in the crib with her. Floor-to-ceiling crib extender. I'm noticing a gendered divide between the responses here. Very understanding for most of our female viewers, and all the dudes are just like looking for physical Trump-like barriers to toss up there. Yeah, see, Kevin has the idea here. Drop the side, they can crawl out, but they can get back into. I think that's going to be my play, actually. That's going to be my play, Kevin. Great mind think alike. Okay, so here is, forgive me if I, this is a brand new song. This is what we're going to do instead of Bone Pile tonight. It's 5 after midnight. Oh, I want some reverb for this. Sorry. It's 5 after midnight, and the sun is still setting. On girls in white dresses, not meant for weddings. And there stands your daughter with both eyes upon you. You stand up and walk to her side. There's no place a good man can hide. There's no place a good man can hide. History is perfect and written by the winners. The deputy says as he breaks all your fingers, you fled prosecution. They found you in Houston. They told you to reach for the sky. There's no place a good man can hide. There's no place a good man can hide. It's not from the courthouse that you need protection. It's always the true love that will get you. They went through your papers, they burned what they hated. It looked like the 4th of July. There's no place a good man can hide. There's no place a good man can hide. There's no place a good man can hide. There's There's no place a good man can hide. Thank you. That's a real-time bone pile for you guys. All right, let's do America's favorite time to cry, Softboy Poem Corner. This week, actually, I'm only going to be able to read part of this poem. This is a very, very, very long poem that I discovered this week. It could take you upwards of 30 or 40 minutes to read it, but you can do it in chunks. And I've never read anything like this before. I really enjoyed it. It's by a guy named Matthew Yeager, and this is the very beginning of it. It's called A Jar of Balloons or the Uncooked Rice. Have you ever had a haircut so bad you cried? When you open the drawer after having poured yourself a bowl of cereal, do you reach for a small or a large spoon? How conscious are you of your posture? Will you agree to let a lover use your toothbrush? Which chemicals do you smell like? During which phase of life did you acquire the bulk of your friends? Have you ever quit a bad job emphatically, ripped off a uniform or apron, thrown the balled-up cloth at a superior, then stomped off? Gray or gray? Who most often terminates your telephone conversations, you or the person to whom you've been speaking? In your bad dreams, do you ever throw the slow motion punch? Are you punctual? Is your signature legible? Have you ever had a birthday go uncelebrated? What's the largest TV set you've ever lived with? Showers or baths? How much cash do you like to carry? Ever been knocked unconscious? One large winter coat or layers? If you cross paths with someone walking a dog, do you talk first to the person or the dog? Do you eat or give away pickles? What's the highest floor on which you've ever lived? Who is your most promiscuous friend? Do you ever get jittery during airplane turbulence? How jittery? Do you still drink glasses of milk? How many people have lived with you? How's your balance? Have you ever ridden in a limousine? What are the chances, would you say, of you becoming one day the president of anything? Greater than none? And it continues on like that, I promise you, for tens of thousands of words. It's insane. So look up Matthew Yeager. Look up the rest of that poem. I think you really enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to jump over into the comments and take all your questions and requests until it's time to go home and wait in the chair until my daughter jumps out of the bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Gary Dotzler asks, what is one of your favorite lyrics from another songwriter? You cannot go wrong with Billy Joe Shaver. You know, how could you write a more perfect line than, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm going to be a diamond one day. Perfect couplet, and wrote a beautiful song along with it. Maybe I'll play that song later for you in a second if you guys haven't heard that. With how popular Americana music has become, do you think Steve Earle gets enough credit on the hand he had in paving that road? I would take a little bit of issue with the first part of what you said there, saying that Americana music has become very popular. I think some people have definitely crossed over, but I think it's still kind of a niche genre. I think it's still kind of like a boutique genre in a lot of ways. But do I think Steve Earle gets enough credit for the hand he played? I think he does, actually. I mean, maybe I'm just very aware of him because he's been a mentor to me and a very good friend of mine. But I think he's recognized quite often as in what he's done. So yeah, there you go. John Bickle wants to hear "Oh My Chesapeake." Yeah, we'll definitely do that. I'm going to take another question and then I'll do that for you. Sari Faye is very unsettled by the poem. It does feel a bit like an inquisition. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so what did I say I was going to do? Oh, for like, what I just said? Oh, my Chesapeake. Yeah, let's do that. Got to find the right key here for you, brother. When I was a young man, that'll work. That's good. All right, here we go. When I was a young man, I released my feet, and they carried me strong across the trouble I'd meet. When without peace, when weary the most, they'd head for the east, and I'd sleep on the coast. When the summer was ripe, come and knock on my door. See my friends and their pipes sit upon my porch. Life was the highway, light was the bridge. I got high in a way that I haven't got since. Oh my Chesapeake, oh my Chesapeake, forget all the things my soul does seek. A boy needs no dinner when the tobacco is sweet. I'll sleep tonight on the Chesapeake. We ran down our nights in rundown hotels with balcony cries in bottles and bells, to abandon weeks, to hangover days, to not quit tomorrow what we could quit today. Oh my Chesapeake, oh my Chesapeake, forget all the things my soul does sink. Another Sunday dead, another needless week. I'll sleep tonight on the Chesapeake. And now every summer I hear no call. If my friends are not lawyers, they don't work at all. You can call that man history who lives in the past. Can you blame him for asking for something to last? Oh my Chesapeake, oh my Chesapeake, forget all the things my soul does seek. I guess the moment is best when the moment is brief. I'll sleep tonight on the Chesapeake. I'll sleep tonight on the Chesapeake. I'll sleep tonight on the Chesapeake. Thank you. There you have it. The song about my home state, about Prince George's, Maryland. Let's see. What else do you guys want to hear? Hey, Larry Sanders is in Hanoi, Vietnam. Nice work, man. You're our most distant listener, or watcher, rather. Let's see. Oh, here's a question for me. You know me too well. Be sour. In all of your travels, what is your favorite regional townie beer, aka cheap, light, not a major brand, what grandpas drink. So he's referring to Lone Star is from Texas. Natty Boh is where I'm from, out of Baltimore. Narragansett is that is the Natty Boh of the Northeast, like Rhode Island. Rainier is Pacific Northwest, old style Chicago. Hood Pole, no idea what that is. My favorite is the towny beer in Minneapolis. It's called Grain Belt. Grain Belt beer. It's just a really good dive bar beer. What can I say? You should grab yourself some. Let's see. That was a good question, Brian. Thank you for it. I think it's Brian, right? You've been on these things before. So now Zachariah wants to hear. He wants to hear "Old Chunk of Coal." I referenced that lyric a second ago. This is a really fast song. I'll play it for you. This is the calling card song of Billy Joe Shaver. He said that he was going to kill himself, and he went to the edge of a mountain to throw himself off the side. I'm pretty sure. I think I heard this from somebody. You probably just shouldn't say stuff like this on the internet if you're not sure about it. But my understanding is that he was close to suicide. He was going to kill himself, and then this song just came fully formed into his head. That's what he said. Oh, I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna grow and glow till I'm blue, pure, perfect. I'm gonna put a smile on everybody's face. I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along the way. I'm just an old chunk of coal, my God, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Oh, I'm gonna learn a new way to walk. I'm gonna search and find a better way to talk. I'm gonna spit and polish my old rough-edged self till I get rid of every single flaw. I'm gonna be the world's best friend. I'm gonna walk around shaking everybody's hand. I'm just an old chunk of coal, my God, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Yeah, I'm just an old chunk of coal, my God, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Billy Joe Shaver, if you could write one lyric, that would be a good one. Oh yeah, I should put oh man, I gotta put this banner up. This is how I get paid. I forgot to put that back. We love it when you can hit the virtual tip jar here. We love it when you can quote unquote buy a ticket to the show. It's not required at all. But if you won't miss a few bucks, it's always appreciated. Let's see. So Chris, okay, I want to play Bright Beginnings for you on the piano, but it's a really hard song to play on piano. I've been practicing it, and we're going to work our way up to it. One of these Sunday songs, I'm going to feel confident enough to do it, but it's really, really, really hard to play on piano. It took me a long time in the studio to get it right. All right. Did we ever figure out where Hood's Pole beer was from? Yes, Brian answered me. Hood Pole is Cincinnati and is the correct answer. Well, fair enough, man. I haven't spent a lot of time in Cincinnati. I usually play across the river there in Kentucky. But Hood's Pole it is. Okay, I'm getting a ton of requests for silver harps and violins. I feel like I did that last week, though, per request. Oh, look. Eric is asking, can I get the Old Chunk of Coal Billy Joe Shaver on the podcast? I have been trying. But he, even at his ripe old age, he's a hard man to pin down.
we're really going to try and get him there. Believe me, he's very high up on the list for me. And I have some friends. You know, he put out albums on the same label I was on for a very long time, called Lightning Rod. And so I've been talking to them about getting him on. All right. Eric Myers wants to hear If Still It Can't Be Found. You got it, brother. I feel like we should get more use out of the piano cam. Actually, let me do it. I'll do that over on the piano cam.
There's a road I have known I could always find. If I walked ahead, I could look behind. If I fell behind, I could always know. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a hand I have known I could always hold, through the night so long, through the day so filled. If I lost my grip, I would not despair. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. So I'll keep walking on and often. You can hear the echoes of my steps. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. If still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a road I have known I could always find.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining us here tonight. I'll play you guys one more tune, and then I'll see you next week. It remains to be seen whether my youngest child will sleep at all. Zach says, find you someone the way Joe looks at the piano cam. Yeah, my wife would be that lucky if I looked at her like that. Joe, can you play the song that you think is best for falling in love to? Sure, I'll play one of my own songs here that fits that description. And then we'll see you next week. This is a pretty dark song, but I think it works. Maybe you have a dark temperament yourself, and your beloved does as well. And then you need a song that works for you, right? Okay, here we go. This is a good one to fall in love to, in my opinion. Some people think it's too dark, but they're wrong.
if they're going to make a shadow out of me. Well, I guess I'll be the shadow of that post oak tree in the forest by your house where we used to meet. If they're going to make a shadow out of me. If they're going to make a shadow out of you. Well, I hope to catch the briefest glimpse as you go passing through, as the shadow of the Lincoln we drove to school. If they're going to make a shadow out of you. Lines will disappear as we grow darker, darker than we planned for at the start. The light of morning will get even farther until at last you can't tell us apart. So if they're going to make a shadow out of us, casting downward to the valley from an Appalachian bluff, I was born, then I loved you, I guess that was enough. If they're going to make a shadow out of us, if they're going to make a shadow out of us. Thanks for joining this week. Thanks for telling a friend about next week that we got a free show coming up. Sunday songs every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll let you know next week how my daughter did and whether or not I put a WWF style cage on top of her crib or not. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Peace.